Hi, it's Bridget here, host of Brave Being the podcast, and I am taking all my listeners into live mode as these are really trying times. So I want to bring the podcast even more live and offer support and ideas for coping and strategies to be able to get through this really challenging time together. So today I'm going to talk about seeking purpose and not panic. And I know that collectively we are experiencing so many challenges right now, between having to shelter at home to the lack of fact-based information. We really have been left to our own devices to experience an absolutely unprecedented challenge. Nobody saw this coming. No one had any idea of the intensity that it would be. And yet we have very limited resources offering us ways to cope with this new challenge that we face. So I've heard this saying so many times over the last couple of weeks of like, we're all in this together. And this is true. And yet we're so drastically separated from our communities, our networks, our jobs, for some of us, even a paycheck. And that brings us another level of discomfort and uncertainty on a daily basis. So this probably is leading you to some degree of panic. So here's the thing about panic. It doesn't culminate any solution, right? So it doesn't help us fight the virus faster. It doesn't help us feel better on our day-to-day. It doesn't do anything to ease our mind and provide us with grounding in a time when we need it the absolute most. So the only way to combat our panic, to find grounding in this immensely challenging time, is that we have to find a purpose. All right. So maybe you've been pondering finding your purpose before, or maybe you've never even thought about it, or maybe it's something you've already been actively working on. But now is this great time to really hone in on what you are intended to do. What makes you feel purposeful, meaningful, inspired, right? So now I know it's so difficult when every element of your daily life has been completely disrupted, but I think I have some ideas to get you there. So the first thing I want you to think about is right now you have this extraordinary gift of time. Yes, I'm sure maybe like your kids are home with you and you're spending part of your day freaking out and washing your hands the whole 20 seconds, which if you've done that, it's a very long time to wash your hands for that long. But the reality is the whole world has stopped. And this isn't exactly what I would call, a all expense paid vacation to Maui, where I can decompress and I can have time to reflect and go inward, right? Like this isn't how I would have imagined it, but yet it's the perfect time to do it. It is the perfect time to incorporate some sort of process into your life that offers you reflection, offers you a connection with how you're feeling, offers you the ability to kind of look inside yourself and see maybe what are those things that you've been avoiding that maybe is now the time to create some resolution. It is an incredible time where we have time to make some really phenomenal changes in our life. So when the time comes for us to be back in our daily life, we can be implementing these extraordinary things to be helping us feel more fulfilled, more grounded, even in our regular circumstance. So the second thing I want to tell you is that to find purpose during this difficult time, we have to get really creative, right? And that may mean finding creative ways to create normalcy, right? So it sounds kind of strange, but we're not taking our kids to school. We're not going to our usual social gatherings. We're not able to go out to dinner. We're not able to do these things that we grip to just feel normal. So we really have to surrender to the circumstance. And I know it's not ideal. Every part of me right now is just fighting this so much. Like, I really want to be able to assume and resume my daily life. But you have to find ways from the time you get up to the time you go to bed to create normalcy. And for me right now, that is making my bed every day, putting makeup on my face, exercising, and keeping some form of continuity and schedule. While they may seem simple, these can be extraordinarily powerful in being able to help you orient more towards feeling purposeful of I got up today, I put myself together, I took care of my body, I followed my schedule, rather than feeling panic based, which is not schedule oriented, not routine based, not fulfilling in the way of it allows us to often wander and allows our mind to go into places that are not in the present moment. Getting creative with how to create normalcy in your daily life is going to help create predictability in these uncertain times. And it's going to also allow you to stay in the present moment, moment to moment, and not moving into the future and not moving into the past, right? We get to be right here. The third thing I want to tell you is that understanding that no matter how grim your circumstance, right? No matter how terrifying, how sad, whether you've lost your job, whether you are noticing the impact this is having on your kids, while you're feeling very frightened about getting sick, whatever it is for you, you will get through this. I too am experiencing the intensity of the uncertainty, scarcity, fear, and I have to keep coming back to myself, to my heart. My head absolutely wants to panic right now and go out and do something, fix this, make this better. Like, what could I possibly do to make this better? And maybe I'll wash my hands now for 45 seconds, right? Maybe I'll completely just quarantine myself in a room, right? These crazy thoughts that come into our mind. And I have to remind myself to come back to my heart. I need to absolutely preserve my energy right now. Panic compromises my energy. And when I compromise my energy, I wreak havoc on my mental and emotional health. And when I wreak havoc on my mental and emotional health, I wreak havoc on my physical health. So if I allow myself to enter into a panic state, I am more susceptible to not only experiencing extreme mental discomfort and emotional discomfort, but I'm now predispositioning my cells in my body and my immune system to now actually be more prone to sickness, illness, less sleep, less ability to be present, right? It has physical effects too. So I have to come back to my heart, my being, my true self, right? And I have to tell myself that there's something greater here. There's something bigger here. And this isn't for us to say that what's happening in our current state is not something to take seriously. It absolutely is something to take very seriously. And this isn't to say, oh, there's a silver lining here, or here's the other side. I don't want to minimize this at all. But in order to preserve my energy and stay restorative, I really need to let my heart and my head know that this has meaning and this has purpose. That taking this time, being present in this moment, not engaging with panic is all this immense opportunity for me to practice these things that when I arrive back to my normal, my daily routine, my life, when it all comes back online, that I will have these skills. And more importantly, if I really allow myself to connect to my heart right now, I'm going to come out on the other side far more resilient. I tell you that if we can get through this and we can stay attuned to who we are, connected, we can invite a personal process with ourselves, that we are going to have a degree of resiliency that is going to be extraordinary. So, no more panic, but make sure you come back to purpose. You have time. You have opportunity to create normalcy. And through all of this, you have such a unique chance to connect to your heart and become so much more resilient for it. So if you want more of this, I will be live every single week, week to week here on the podcast Brave Being. I really invite you to go inward and start that process of connecting to yourself. Start that process of really, really harnessing your emotional integrity. And I'm here with you. I got you. And if you feel like you need more support, don't be afraid to reach out. Take really good care, and I will see you all next time.